Hey guys, Chris here for my first ever vocal breakdown. For my first one, I had to do it. Tyler Joseph of 21 Pilots. Tyler is one of my favorite singers of all time. He's an incredible vocalist, incredible songwriter, incredible producer. I've seen them live like 5 times. He brings such great energy to the stage, and such a great voice too, singing and rapping. Um, he has a very bright, forward tone to his voice, and he mostly sings in what I would refer to as a medium mixed voice, meaning he sits primarily in the mask when he's singing, as opposed to more full in the voice, kind of like a Foo Fighters more full mix. He's definitely more of a medium mix singer, more in the mask. So today we're gonna analyze "Holding On to You" in the live room, which is a bit different than the studio version, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get started here.
The song is called Holding On to You.
I'm taking over my body, back and controlling my shoddy. I bet a lot of me was lost, teasing, crossing, nice and dotted. I fought it a lot, and it seems a lot like flesh is all I got. Not anymore, flesh out the door, swat. I must speak up, you can't.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. So if you've listened to the studio version, when I first heard the studio version of Holding On to You, I immediately thought, wow, this sounds kind of like Eminem. And Tyler does sometimes. His vocal placement is very masky, similar to Eminem. His energy, he has a lot of energy, but it's very forward, like, hi, my name is, I mean, that's kind of exaggerating, but that's one of Eminem's songs. Tyler is very forward and in the mask. And he's a little more subdued here in the live version compared to on the record. He's kind of like, a little more energetic on the record, and this is a little more intimate. But on the record, he's kind of like, I'm taking over my body, back in control of my shoddy. You bet a lot of me was lost, T's and crossing I's and dotted. And it's really prevalent in the mask. And here it's similar, but he's a little more like kind of laid back and intimate. So let's keep listening here, and I'll keep analyzing for you.
Trust me, I'm open a moment and close it short before you know what I'm lost to see. And now that I write and think about it and the story unfolds, you should take my life, you should take my soul.
You should take my life, you should take my soul. So yeah, he is still very like thin and masky, but he's kind of like just like conversing, like a conversation, as opposed to on the record. I feel like it's a little more aggressive and a little more matter of fact, just a little more in your face, and compared to this, where it's a little more laid back and kind of like, I'm taking over my body, back in control of my shoddy. I bet a lot of me was lost, T's and crossing I's and dotted. A little more laid back compared to the studio version. All right, let's keep listening.
You are surrounding all my surroundings, sounding down the mountain range of my left side brain.
All right, so here we go into the first chorus. Couple things just to talk about. Tyler, in a lot of his songs, he really over enunciates. You are surrounding all my surroundings, and I feel like there's just certain artists that can like pull this off really well, like really over enunciating their words. Tyler being one of them, Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance being another one of them. And then sometimes I feel like it's just really cheesy and cringy when people like really articulate their words and over exaggerate the enunciation. But Tyler does a great job, but it also kind of helps him get into the placement he needs. You are surrounding All my surroundings sounding down. So very forward, very in the mask. And here, let's keep listening to the final lines of this.
You are surrounding all my surroundings, twisting the kaleidoscope behind both my eyes.
So even there, he's going up to an F sharp. Down the mountain range of my left side brain. And he kind of does like, I know I've heard him do a, kind of like a, he kind of scoops up to it. Of my left side brain, but he's not getting like super, not a lot of power behind it. It's kind of just like he can hit it easily. It doesn't have to have a lot of power. It's not like left side brain, left side brain. So pretty thin and in the mass there. Medium mix up to the F sharp. So very nice. Let's keep listening.
And I'll be holding on to you. And I'll be holding on to you.
All right, there's the first amazing scream. We're not going to analyze that yet because we're going to get to the bridge that has tons of really great screams that are better to analyze. So here we go.
Remember the moment, you know exactly where you're going, cause the next moment before you know it, time is slowing and it's frozen still, and the windowsill looks really nice, right? You think twice about your life, it probably happens at night, right? Fight it, but take the pain, ignite it, tie a noose around your mind, loose enough to breathe fine and tie it to a truth, tell it you belong to me, this ain't a noose, this is a lease.
So if you listen here, he's like, it's pretty effortless the way he's rapping. He's always in the same place. Always in the same high place, kind of. Remember the moment, you know exactly where you're going, cause the next moment before you know it, time is slowing and it's frozen still, and the windowsill, it looks really nice, right? You think twice about your life, it probably happens at night, right? I'll fight it, I'll take the pain, ignite it, and then, you know, blah, blah, blah. But so he's sitting here in this high place, and I really think that just takes practice. You need to work on how to sing in the mask area. When I first heard the song, I was like, how the hell does he rap so high? Like, how does he rap so high for so long without it getting tiring? And it's really just, it just takes practice in getting that placement up there, and sitting there for a long time, because once you find it, it's a lot easier. And there's a lot of ways to do that. You can strengthen your falsetto, which will definitely help, because when you strengthen your falsetto, it's strengthening your upper register, which you're pretty much living in a mix of your upper register for most anything you're ever going to sing. So that's definitely a place to start, but definitely trying to get into that nasal area, and then you kind of have to just experiment with being over nasal and then less nasal and getting kind of between the two until you find the tone you like. You don't, obviously, you know, I love Tyler, but I don't want to copy him exactly, but there's a lot we can learn from him. Okay, let's move forward.
If news for you, you must obey me. You are surrounding all my surroundings, sounding down the mountain range of my left side brain. You are surrounding all my surroundings, twisting the kaleidoscope behind both of my eyes.
So again, just real quick, like when he's going up to the F sharps, it's like, it's pretty thin and not like there's not a lot of power behind it. Twisting the kaleidoscope behind both of my eyes. So we're staying high here. We're not getting Tyler does not use a lot of chest resonance, except for when he gets really dramatic. And when actually what's kind of interesting is when he's singing higher, he starts in more dramatic, in a more dramatic climax. He brings more chest in than he usually does in the rest of his voice, even lower, which is kind of the opposite of what most singers do. Most singers are more full down low and then thin out up high. And a lot of times he's very masky down low, and then he brings it up and into his higher range, his chest, which is really unique. But right here on the F sharp, he's pretty thin on the mountain range, but you can hear him do it kind of a rev up in this version of the left when he says, "On my left side brain, you are surrounding." Very masky, but he does do a little kind of lift off there into the left. All right, let's keep going. The bridge. Here we go.
Entertain my fate. Entertain my fate. Entertain my fate. Entertain my fate. Entertain my fate.
So here he's going in between a light mix and breaking into falsetto with a little mask in the falsetto. So he's kind of doing in between a little both of into the high faith note, going in between pure falsetto and a little in the mask kind of. So he's starting every note more in the mask. Entertain my faith. That would be pure falsetto. Entertain my faith. So that's kind of like going in between leaning the falsetto in the mask or not. It's really a stylistic choice. He kind of does both. Entertain my faith. Entertain my faith. More in the mask. Entertain my faith. Entertain my faith. Just pure falsetto. Let's continue here. Here we go. Okay, so right away, fucking screams are unbelievable. But so when you hear him go from the "entertain my faith," so that's an E4. You can hear him get a little bit raspy there, just a little bit, to kind of get his vocal fry going. Entertain my, instead of faith, entertain my thing. Getting a little fry going. Let's try to hear it again. Hear that fry going in. Entertain my faith. Okay, let's listen a little more. All right, here we go. So when we're getting into the screams here, of course, there's a lot you need to know before you just start screaming like this. You really should have a good handle on the mixed voice already if you want to attempt high B4 screams. Or you might damage your voice if you have no idea what you're doing and you're just screaming your lungs out. So what he's doing is the vocal fry sits above your voice box, and if you feel it, you can try it. I would experiment doing it in every range you can. Low first, if If you can't find it low, then try high. This is like a falsetto fry. It does not hurt at all. So basically what you're doing is instead of actually phonating, your vocal cords are kind of flopping around, just kind of like batting against each other. And if you do it correctly above your voice box, it should be in this area. It does not hurt at all, and it will not hurt your voice at all. But you need to take the time to learn how to do it correctly. So experiment with starting in different ranges. I'm gonna do a video on like how to sing like Tyler Joseph with many more examples, how to use vocal fry, but just a quick little tutorial. Feel it above your Adam's apple or voice box. And when you hear him, you can hear him lean into it on the entertain ma. He's already getting a little fry going there. So it's basically another way to think of it. Sorry, I'm trying to just get like different ways to explain it to you. When you're hitting a note, it's almost letting off the pitch just a tad so that your vocal cords aren't stretched quite as much, and that they're just under the note, and then they kind of start flapping around. So it's a little bit less it's almost like a little less compression with the diaphragm from going from a clean note to the fry, and then once the fry starts engaging, you'll feel it, and then you can use more compression to lean into the fry and get more power behind it. Entertain my faith, and that's only an E. So what we're talking about here is we're going up to a B4, which is entertain my faith. So I would advise to everyone, try to hit the note first clean. If you can't hit it clean without going into falsetto, like entertain my faith, then you really shouldn't try to scream like this unless it doesn't hurt at all. But I would advise to try to hit the note clean, the B4 clean, before you start screaming. So, entertain my faith! Entertain my faith! And then once you get the clean note, try to experiment with the air pressure going in from your diaphragm and your vocal cords stretch. If you let it go a little bit, you'll start to get a fry. Entertain my faith! So there I was kind of going from clean and letting the vocal cords kind of shy off the note and compressing more with my diaphragm, getting into that. You really have to experiment with it. You have to not be afraid of cracking your voice or anything like that. You just have to go for it and experiment, and it should not hurt at all. All right, let's continue here.
With it, rock with it, when we gonna stop with it? Lyrics that mean nothing, we were gifted with thought. Is it time to move our feet to an introspective beat? It ain't the speakers that bump us, it's a hush to make a beat. Lean with it, rock with it, when we gonna stop with it? Lyrics that mean nothing, we were gifted with thought. Is it time to move our feet to an introspective beat? It ain't the speakers that bump us, it's a hush to make a lean with it, rock with it, when we gonna stop with it? Lyrics that mean nothing, we were gifted with thought. Is it time to move our feet to an introspective beat? It ain't the speakers that bump us, it's a hush to make a lean with it, rock with it, when we gonna stop with it? Lyrics that mean nothing, we were gifted with thought. Is it time to move our feet? It's time to make a beat.
even there, like, it's that is super thin. And you kind of, I mean, he's obviously practiced this a ton, but it's not like it is not that full as you think it would be. I mean, he's singing into a microphone, but it's pretty thin up there. And then you kind of lean into it. But yeah, you just have to find it here. Let's finish this off.
Now be rolling on you.
Right there, he modifies his you to a yeah, yo. Now be holding on to you instead of you.
Now be holding on to you. Now be holding on to you. Now be holding on to you.
And there we go, finishing it off with a great scream. Again, should be pretty close to effortless, except for your diaphragm. And I'll be holding on to you. If you like this video, I'm probably gonna do tons of Tyler fucking analysis videos. Drop me a like and subscribe. And if you want anything in particular from Tyler, from any artist, let me know. And we'll see you soon.